Hello everyone, Adam Reed, creator of Star Achiever, Tap Your Power Now, coming at you. And for those of you that haven't met me, I'm going to take a little moment here and introduce myself, and I'll give you a little background as to why this video is up and what the point of it is and what the intentions are and what the purpose is, etc. So like I said, my name is Adam Reed, and who I am, though, is a man who's incredibly committed to bringing the best success education possible to business people, entrepreneurs, as I can. And I'll give you a little rundown of my education so that you can get a kind of sense of where I'm coming from here. So I've participated in probably every seminar you can imagine that's on the face of the planet. And the ones that I couldn't get to, I've listened to the audio presentations, or I've watched the video presentations, or I've done the webcasts and the podcasts and I've done this for about 11 years. And I've really rooted through and sorted out what is really great and actually does produce fantastic results and what doesn't. And I'm telling you this because I've made success a real study. And what we're going to cover today is going to be not too in-depth. It's going to touch on the fundamentals and foundations of success from the place of best practices. So backing up, I decided that I used to be an engineer, and I used to do machine design. And there was this day where it just occurred to me that there's just no way I can continue to do 30 plus years of the same job. I was working 55 hours a week. It was 10 hours a day, starting at 7 in the morning. It was 10 hours a day. And Saturdays was 7 in the morning again for half days, so done by noon. And it just occurred to me as a young guy, I'm like, my God, I have a day and a half to myself. Like that's my time, a day and a half of my time. And I was very clear that just did not work for me. It did not work for me one bit. And I was bored. I mean, CAD drawings, oh God, blueprints, boring, but necessary for the business that I was working at for the time. But for me as a human being, and for me as a man who was committed to something more, it just totally didn't work. And then the 30 years of this idea popped through my brain, and I thought, there's no way I can do this. And on top of that, I never really had a whole lot of money. I mean, I put in a ton of time and got paid for it, and I just hardly ever had money. So I thought, there's got to be a way that I can turn all this around. There's got to be a way I can sort this out. So after that business I was working for went into bankruptcy and everyone was let go, I decided it was time to completely leave the industry. And so I went on a journey of 11 years to find out what makes people successful. And I've run into some incredible people. I'll give you some people that I've met and talked with. And this is why I really want to share this with you, because what the ideas they have are just so incredible. They can make an instant difference in results and performance, like right away. Not like, oh, here's an idea and I'm going to sit on it, but here's an idea that can be implemented right now that starts to open up the whole world of what it is to be successful. So I met a gentleman by the name of Richard Zinc. Now, I don't know if you know who Richard is, but Richard is a gentleman that started in the coffee truck business. And he started as a young man, and 35 years in, he's set up He set up 4 businesses for sure that we've talked about, that he's taken from thousands of dollars or tens of thousands or even 100,000s into multi-millions. And I really wanted to get from Richard, what is that? What has you be able to take something like this and expand it so quickly and grow it so fast? And here's why I say quickly. So one of the last one he worked for, they had a warehouse. He tells me, he'll tell you this story himself. He has a 28,000 square foot warehouse, and they had zero income, but they had a $3 million investment. That was it. And Richard took the zero income to 20 million in 2 years. Now, how do you get that many customers? How do you bring in such large accounts? How do you get like Like, what is it? What do you do every day? And so anyway, Richard shared his story with me, and I'm going to give you some of what he shared and what I've distinguished from what he shared into this program here. And there's going to be a few parts to this, and this is video 1. And I talked to Richard about, how do you turn out millions? And I've talked to many others. Now, some people I don't have permission to use their names, so I won't do that. But I will use their companies. And there's a lady I met many years ago, and she is a consultant that travels to businesses, and she's a single mom at the same time. And the first time I met her, she pulled up in this shiny brand new BMW, and she was wearing clothes that I was like, God, that's worth more than my house. Not really, but you get what I mean. Like, she was very, very well dressed, and her clothes were very expensive. I mean, well, to me, it was expensive at the time. $400, $500 shoes. Like, this is the stuff that I'd spend $500, and that amount of clothes would last me a year. She's wearing shoes at that price, and a brand new BMW, and gorgeous condo. She had this immaculate condo with marble floors and the whole 9 yards. It was beautiful. And I asked her one day, I said, what was it, or what is it that makes you so successful? And she said, I attended seminars. And I thought, really? That's simple. I can do that. I can attend seminars. And I'll tell you this, if you're in the position where you don't have money to pay for a seminar, there are ways that you can get value from the seminar, and you never have to pay to get in. And here's the most interesting part. You still get in. Now, what am I talking about? Here's what I'm talking about. There was a point in time where I didn't have a whole lot of money to be spending on seminars. And yet I wanted to take the advice of, all these entrepreneurs I'd met and get into seminars and learn what I could learn. So what I did was I volunteered. I volunteered to be a part of the team that allowed me to be in the room when the person on stage was speaking and training. And from there, I could take the information. It was just soaking in. You see, the thing is, there are things to do as a production person inside of a seminar. But there's also downtime where you get to just sit, have your lunch, relax, quietly at the back of the room, and take in as much as you can. And the ideas that can spawn just from one conversation are incredible. So anyway, there's a little strategy on how to get into a seminar for free. And you can try with mine. I have no problem with that. But this is a way to get free value if you don't have a lot of money. And it's very challenging for you to come up with the finances to do that. So anyway, I did all this, and I did this for years. And I also interviewed, I interviewed Olympic athletes, 3 of them actually. One of them was a great friend, and we worked together, and he was a 2-time gold medalist for high jump. Fantastic man who loves working with youth. I had the opportunity to work with him and educating youth and teaching them around performance and arts and different things, which was really great. By the way, it was fantastic public speaking training, because let me tell you, those kids, they don't like something, they're ruthless. You can get in front of an audience and then all be, adults, and they'll just sit there and, it's like they're watching TV. They just watch you. But the kids don't like something, they make it known. So it was an incredible training ground for speaking and training and content and who I got to be in front of them and all that stuff. Anyway, so so then 2 more Olympic athletes. Now I don't have permission to use their names, but I will say what they performed in. And one was one lady. She placed 33rd in rhythmic gymnastics. You can have a hard time saying that, rhythmic gymnastics. And the next lady was a figure skater, Olympic figure skater. Anyway, more education on performance, which was great. So I learned how to perform. So why am I telling you all this? Okay, here's why I'm telling you all this. Because I want to, like I said, I want to bring you the best education possible to have you be successful every day. So here's what I've done. I've taken from millionaires, Olympic athletes, businesses that I've studied, the umpteen seminars I've got to go to, including ones where you walk on a burning bed of coals. I think you might know what seminar that is. And the other one is a seminar where they put an arrow against your throat and you walk forward and shatter the arrow, therefore not dying on the spot, which probably would have been better because that's instant millions for your family. But no, I'm kidding. You know what I mean? But the point is, I've attended all this stuff, and here's what I've broken it down into. 2 specific categories under one specific heading, and that is, I call these the best practices. Now, there isn't a company out there that doesn't have best practices. And so what I've done is done all the studying, I've done all the work, I've done all the distinguishing, I've implemented this in projects I've done myself, in partnerships I've done myself, and they've always been of tremendous benefit. And when I say tremendous benefit, I'm talking causing what people want, which is 2 things. These sorts of practices cause specifically 2 things. One is a transformation in lifestyle. That's what people want. There's only 2 things human beings want across the board. I don't care who it is. I don't care what their circumstance. They want 2 things across the board. One is a transformation in lifestyle, and the second is a transformation in who they are. Now, I'm not going to get too deep. I'm not going to get deep into that at all in this particular video. What I will tell you is there is a seminar that we put on where we'll get into this, and we'll get into this deep. And we get into this deep so that people get openings and access, which, by the way, is what all seminars are. Openness and access to the transformation that people want. And so that's what this is about. So I don't want to get too far off track here, but we do a seminar, we cover that and so much more. And so in this video, the do's, I've divided the 50 best practices into do's and don'ts. And in this video, I'm going to cover 5. Now, there's 50 in total, and I'm going to cover 5 of the do's. And I have a total of 28 do's, which leaves a total of 22 don'ts. And I will release more videos, and I'll cover the rest of them with you. Make sure you get all 50, and you can begin to implement them right away. And I want to touch on this too. My methodology is education with implementation. That's it. Very simple. You educate yourself, you learn a bunch of things, and you implement it right away. And then from there, you can start to see what the results are. Now, let's just have a little bit of fun here and let's get started, because we're already about 12 minutes in here, almost 13, and I don't want to spend a whole lot of time giving you all this preemptive stuff. I think we need to just dive right in. So, here we go. We're going to start with the first best practice do, and there are 5 of them, and here's the first one. Make learning a lifelong practice by learning from nature, personal experiences, books, movies, speakers, meaning people on stage, of course, coaches, people in general, and technology infonars, which is, that's my word, infonar, an infonar. So let me just say, technology infonars covers everything: webinars, teleseminars, podcasts, you name it, all that stuff. And when I said people in general, here's what I mean. I love going to the mall, and I love watching people, how they interact, who's saying what, who's dressed like what, why they're doing that together, how that person looks at that person, why are they looking over there. This is my brain. This is my brain. It's always asking 1,000 questions. But here's what I want you to look at. If we're going to make learning a lifelong practice, let's look at these areas. So nature. You probably know this, but I'll share it with you just in case you don't. Did you know that martial arts comes from nature? Studying insects, studying animals, meaning, when I say animals, more like mammals and reptiles, and how they interact, how they prey on one another. So from nature, we have martial arts. And like this, and then from martial arts, we have these incredible movies. And then from the incredible movies, we have the incredible people that were in the movies, right? And then we have a whole range of people inspired by the people in the movies that learned the martial arts. It came from the insects and the animals and the, right? So we got to learn from nature. Learn how things work together. Learn how, here's something. A cheetah, right? Here's something to learn from nature. A cheetah chases a gazelle, and the gazelle gets away. Does the cheetah lay down and get depressed and want to talk to its therapist and cry, have a little trauma? No, of course not, right? Right? So we can learn from nature. Listen, the cheetah didn't get it. Does he care? Absolutely not. He might pant a little bit. He's looking around for his next opportunity. Let's be like the cheetah. See what I mean? You can take these simple things and implement them into your life, right? Personal experiences. We've all got it. We all have a past. And that's the place to pull all of your resources, is from the past. Personal experiences. You know, I've had some, and I know many people that have had some real, what we could consider some very tragic experiences. But if you take a moment and look at the experience and pull it apart, there's lots of lessons in there, things we could have done differently, things we could have been prepared for. And I think preparation is a big part of avoiding a lot of really potentially negative experiences. You know, so just there's a couple lessons right there from personal experience. Now I'm speeding up a little here because I got some more to cover. Books. Boy, I tell you, my sister recommended me a book when I was 29, and I read it. And halfway through the book, it spoke of responsibility. And that one paragraph impacted me so deeply, had me see things I'd never seen before, that it's one of the key reasons I'm on this path. So books, movies, I mean, man, there's some lines in movies. I think The Matrix really covers it. There's so much takeaway from the movie Matrix, you know? Speakers, like I said, I've been to tons and tons and tons of seminars, and the people speaking always have great ideas. And I love taking their ideas. And then there's coaches. You know, I've had my coaches, and I continue to have my coaches. Matter of fact, the big reason that I'm able to get up and produce and create and be active is because I have coaches. And they don't let me get away with stuff. And that's a great thing. So all of this keeps me on the path of results and performance and success, of course. All right, so that's number one in the do's. Make life. Oh, not make life, make learning. A lifelong practice. Learn from nature, experience, books, movies, speakers, technology influencers, coaches, and people in general. All right, here's number two. Now that you've learned all that you've learned, here's number two. Implement what you have learned all over the place. Seriously, I mean, if you go back and you've learned from watching the cheetah that, you know, it's time to get up and make things happen, go share that with your friends. Say, listen, I know this is silly and ridiculous. I was watching this video and I got this. I was even listening to this crazy audio program. And I got that, you know, if I just act like the cheetah a little bit more, I can produce more results. Have a good laugh about it, but then implement it. Try it. Give up being upset. Give up being depressed after something doesn't work out and get right into the game again. See what happens there. Okay, good. Here we go. Number three. Give everything you do 100% and go up from there. Wow. Imagine that. Being so present, so with people that you give them everything you've got, and then you go up from there. Now, in answering the second part of this, or even looking at the second part of this as going up from there, that's up to you to determine. See, I don't know your situation and your circumstances. I don't know how much you think you put in every day. I know personally I put in, years ago, I put in 50%, and I was expecting, 1,000% results. No way. No, I learned that real quick. It was 100%, and then I had to go up from there. I had to do more. I had to look for more. So essentially, fulfill the things you know you're accountable to fulfill. Get your schedule made. Follow your schedule. Make your calls. And let the momentum build, and you'll just go up from there. And the results will multiply. Okay, here we go. Do number 4. Create systems and structures that support you in achieving the highest levels of success. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a very simple one to get started with. And I know that I am incredibly guilty of this one. Let me correct that. I was incredibly guilty of this one. Not so much anymore. Alarm clocks. Set your alarm clock, like you do, for 6 o'clock or whatever time it is that you get up. And when that thing goes off at 6, make sure your feet are out of that bed at 6 and 5 seconds, or at 6 and 10 seconds. It's a simple structure to keep us on track. And here's what it does is if we get up when we say we're going to get up, there's a consistency there that will leave us empowered. And that's just one very simple structure. What about your calendar? What about your calendar? Have you got everything you need in your calendar? You want a fast way out of overwhelm? Put everything you've got in a calculator. All the stuff swimming around your calculator. Let me try that again. Put everything you've got in your head in a calendar, schedule it all, follow through on every little piece of it, and then see what happens. Seriously, watch what happens. Things get resolved in such a way that there's an opening for you to be excited and empowered. There's consistency every time. I love my calendar. As a matter of fact, as I'm sitting here, I've got 1, 2, 3 calendars available, 4 calendars available at any one time that I can go to and put in different activities and different opportunities and different projects and all the activities of that into. So I do that. So take a look for yourself. What systems and structures can you create that would support you in achieving your highest levels of success? Okay, and number 5, here we go. The final one for today. Avoid the trap of having all of your goals and dreams complete and managed now and someday. Now, what do I mean by that? Here's what I mean. If I was to turn around, and I've done this is why I can say this, I've done all this nonsense. I've distinguished it down, remember? I've done projects where I've set a goal and it's 6 months out. And for 6 months, I work on it and work on it and work on it and work on it and work on it. And in that time, I'm learning and having breakthroughs. I'm having dips and breakdowns, but I'm still progressing with it. I'm still going for it. And then the goal happens. And I'm telling you, it's as immediate as lightning hitting the ground. As soon as that goal is done, I'm done. Okay, good. Whew. I can breathe. I did it. No. See, this is what doesn't work. Once I stopped and I said, well, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm done. It's complete. As soon as that happened, complacency right away. Procrastination right away. See, here's why I say, don't have them complete or managed. Some things, yes. And life goals, never. Have your goals past your age, past when you even think you're going to be alive. Here's why. It keeps the purpose and the excitement alive for everybody. For you and for all the people that you're interacting with, because you know every day you're up to something. There's statistics that talk about when men retire, they die a short period after their retirement. I would venture a guess that the reason why they don't survive very long past their retirement is they've lost the purpose, right? They've lost the drive to fulfill on something that matters. They've lost the drive to fulfill on contribution. They've lost the drive to be great. They've lost the drive to challenge themselves. And that, inside of that, inspires others. And then they challenge themselves. Then you've got a community of people challenging one another. And then it's all hell breaks loose and it's hectic. No, it's great. It's so great. Phones are ringing off the hook. What did you do? How did you do it? Did you succeed here? No, I failed here. And oh my God, how did you fail? What did you do? Right? And that's what I'm talking about. Don't ever think your dreams are handled. Get excited. Stay excited. Plan them. I do. I'm telling you, I've got mine. Okay, that's it for today. Remember, education with implementation. Take this. Go back through it. Pick the points you love. Write stuff down. Get stuff created. And let's have you be on the path to the $1 million you want. Let's have you be on the path to expanding another 1,000, 10,000 customers. Let's have you doing all that. Well, let's start with these simple and basic fundamentals that will build a great foundation. My name's Adam Reed. Thanks for listening to Star Achiever. Tap your power now. Get ready for video 2 coming to you shortly. And if you are interested in a bit more education, or you'd like to take a look at what I've developed as far as audio presentations go, you can click the link below, the Tap Your Power Now link, and we will see you later.